Hey guys, I'm going to go through playlist 2 with you guys and hopefully you'll get a better understanding of what I mean by playlist and also some expectations that I have for you for playlists. So this week is playlist 2, so I went to classwork. That's where you're always going to find your playlist and your resources that you need. I did want to say before I start, sometimes when I'm doing these videos, you might see resources that you don't have on them. That might be because you're on a different playlist than these or this group or what have you. But for example, on this one, there's 2 playlists currently on this classroom this week at least. Next week it could be 3 or 4, and the same thing could go for your class as well, but you should only have one of these playlists. So just in case you're looking at this and you're like, I only have one playlist too, you should only have one playlist too. So just so you know. So if you click on your playlist, it looks like this. This week, so the same thing as last week, we have the must do's, the may do's, and then we also have your goal area. So this week's goal is that I can look at a text and know something about it. And then you also have where I will know that the morphemes for this week. So I'll get into a little bit more how we're going to do or accomplish both of these this week. A couple of things that are important to note. Monday and Wednesday are together as a whole class. And so what that means is not necessarily that I will be up in front of the class talking the whole time, but I will be guiding you guys through the activities and practices for the day so that we're all on the same page and I know that everybody is getting the same information so that they can hopefully do it correctly the next time by themselves. So Monday is going to be whole class. Hopefully you guys already took the M&M Bellwork form. It's on Google Classroom. It is, in case you didn't do it, it's always going to be in general information underneath important Google Forms links. And it's mindful and metacognitive, so M&M. It is in the same place that we took our daily exit ticket. And then you're watching this playlist. So what you can do as you actually go through this, and I'm going to make sure that you do this because this helps me if I need to see where you're at on certain things. If you double click on the box and put a check mark on it, then when I look at yours, I can be like, oh, they already did their bell work. They haven't done anything else. So at a glance, I can tell where you're at, and it also helps keep yourself organized as well. So after you're done with this, hopefully you can check off the first 2. Then what you guys are going to do is the class is going to finish the Newsella article that we started on Friday so that I can have that baseline data for you guys. And then you are going to be doing vocabulary charts with me. The charts are on Google Classroom. So when you come here, you'll see that it's vocabulary and morpheme and vocabulary tracker. And you'll see that here. You'll click on it. This is what you're going to be working on the whole time. And here on the playlist is where you will find the words. However, because we are doing this whole class, this is what I will be showing the class. And we're going to go through and do it all together. But if you weren't in class on that day, then you could still do this. It just wouldn't be whole class like what we are doing. Tuesday, you guys are so lucky because you get to be the first group that does a small group with me. So we're going to be going through morphemes, which are all based on the vocabulary for this week, and we'll go into that more on Tuesday as well. When you're done with that, or you're done with me and our lesson for that day, then there are 2 things you can do. You can practice your vocabulary for the week, or you can practice your morphemes. The vocabulary for this week would be our social studies vocabulary. The reason I'm doing that is because I know that vocab, that you are tested on that in social studies, so to get you started right on that, but also vocabulary goes hand in hand with ELA, and I didn't want to give you a whole separate list, at least not in the first week. So just so you know, that's why I chose to do just the social studies vocabulary with you guys this week. Hopefully it's extra exposure and extra time to work with those words so that you can pass your social studies test. And the morphemes, if you're going to practice those, the morphemes are actually going to be about every other week. So this week you'll be introduced to them, next week you'll practice them as well, and then you'll be tested at the end of the week on the set for those 2 weeks. If you master that, then you will go on to the next set. If not, then you'll be going back through and reviewing and making sure that you know them before you move on. Wednesday, again, is whole class. You're going to be answering the question, how does the environment affect the way we live? And it's a writing prompt. It's also linked on the playlist, but it's on the next slide as well. So you're going to type your answer there. And then there's going to be 2 articles going on during this day. So we're going to do it all together. But we're going to do it all together. But we're going to be practicing Thieves, or the Thieves model. And that model has been posted on Google Classroom, and also the document that you're going to work on. This Newsella article is on Google Classroom as well, underneath playlist 2. So whatever resource you need to be posted that's specific to that playlist will always be underneath it. And so this is the document that I'm talking about, the Thieves reading strategy that we'll fill out together as a class. Although, again, we'll be doing 2 different articles because next you'll actually come together with somebody who read something different to figure out how you can put all the information together to answer this question. Thursday will be the library, so that's what this is. And then last but not least, Friday, because we will have our library book. Oh, before I forget, we will meet in the library. So now you've been told on Thursday, don't come to my classroom, go to the 3rd floor where the library is at, and I'll see you there. On Friday, because we have our library books, we're going to start our beginning of class routine as it's intended. So Tuesday through Friday from here on out, after we get a library book, we'll always be sit down and read for 7 minutes at the beginning of class, unless you were told otherwise. Mondays will always be filling out this form, but Tuesday through Friday will be that reading. The reason why is because the expectation is that you read a book every 6 weeks. And so essentially, if you do just 7 minutes a day for 4 days a week, you will be reading over 3 hours. But then you can also do it as a may do, or if you have free time, you can also read too. The last thing we're going to do for the week, another small group will be, so you guys will probably be with me or Miss Freeman, or we might have 2 different groups going, but we know that they're going to be in small groups because everybody's reading different articles. You are going to actually read the Newsella article and then answer the questions and do the writing prompt with one of us. So we'll go through that all together. If everything is done and you guys have free time on any given day, you can use these may-dos to help you. You can also practice the morphemes or the vocabulary up here. Or, as I already mentioned, because we now have our library book, you can get your book out and read. The whole premise behind the playlist is that you get this stuff done first, and then you are able to choose what you do with your time, but you need to do something productive. You can't just sit there and play games, or sit there and play games, or sit there and not do anything. You actually need to be doing something productive that has to do with learning. If you have any questions about this after you watch this video, please don't hesitate to ask me. I want to make sure that you know exactly what to expect for the week before you get started, because hopefully when it comes to independent days like Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, you already kind of know what is expected of you and you don't need to ask me. Same with any of the other things that are on this playlist. I want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable in what you're supposed to do and what the expectations are for this week. If you aren't, then ask and I will go through it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, please don't hesitate to ask, and good luck.